What's going on, HGM family? This is Pastor Jay here from Compassion Church in Florence, South Carolina. And I just want to help you guys out today with the thought of this. You ready for this? How do I have an effective team meeting? How do I have an effective staff meeting? If you're like me, the first time I ever tried to lead one, it was horrible. It was awful. I didn't know what to do. I just showed up. Everybody's looking at me for all these answers, and I'm just like, oh man, I need some help. So I reached out to some folks, and they kind of walked me through that. And hopefully, if you haven't had that experience yet, hopefully you won't have to. All right, hopefully you can help you avoid that weird situation, and you can lead these meetings well. So what I want to talk to you today about is leading your team, leading your staff meetings, leading your team meetings. This is not about board meetings. This is team meetings and staff meetings. And so, man, I just got an outline I want to share with you today. But before we get on that, I think we probably need to define, what does a healthy meeting look like? What does an effective team meeting look like? And I think it kind of goes on the lines of it. Let me ask, have you ever been in a meeting before you just feel like it was a waste of your time? Like you got in that meeting and it's like, man, this could have been sent to me in an email. This could have been done some other kind of way. This is just information. Pat, we did not need to sit here all this time for a meeting. We want our folks, when they're in our meetings, when that meeting is over, that they say, man, this is beneficial. I'm so glad we had this meeting. It brings clarity. It's informational. It's transformational. It's all these things. And we want to be able to have effective meetings with our teams. Now, you also may be out there and you say, man, I don't have a team. I need a team. I want a team. Who do I need on my team? Well, there's 3 big keys to your team and your staff at your church. There's been all kind of studies done, research done, and the healthiest churches in America right now, here's your big three pieces. You ready for this? You need to have somebody for worship, you need to have somebody for kids, and you need to have somebody for connections. And so those are your big 3 pieces. Now, youth pastor, that's huge. Discipleship, huge. Outreach, all those things are huge, okay? But your big 3 pieces in the beginning, when you're trying to get this thing rolling, trying to develop your team, those are the big 3 you need. So what do we discuss in these meetings? What's the flow of these meetings? What's the desired outcome of a staff meeting? And the thing is, the desired outcome is we're trying to fulfill the vision that the Lord has given us for our churches, for our communities, for our area. And the vision needs to be at the forefront. It's our why. It's why we do what we do. We have meetings to meet the vision that the Lord's given each and every one of us. So what does a meeting look like? All right, hopefully, if you're watching this, hopefully you are a person of prayer, right? And so everything we do should be saturated in prayer. So the very first thing you can put on your agenda, your docket, your thing to do is we're going to pray together as a team. Why do we do that? Well, many reasons. We want clarity. We want to be led by the Holy Spirit. If you've had a bad day coming to this meeting, we're going to spend some time in prayer, and hopefully spending time in the presence of the Lord takes you out of that funk that you may have been in or your team may have been in. And it's just spending time with your team in God's presence in prayer. That's the first thing that we can do to set the tone for this whole meeting. The second thing, and I think this is something that some of us struggle with, is celebrations. And so we have to find things to celebrate with our team. What that looks like is this. What is something that happened at our church, in our worship, in our youth, in our kids, in our connections? What is it that we can celebrate with the team leaders in the room and just rally them up? Celebrate. Maybe you want to highlight an individual. Maybe it's not even the team leader in the room. Maybe it's somebody that's on their team, a volunteer, and you guys can take a moment and celebrate what that individual did. Something cool that we do is we take time and we call it giving cake. We give cake out. And so what giving cake is, it's simply this. That's the way we celebrate. We say, hey, in my department, I want to give cake to so-and-so. And so what happens is the staff throughout the week will just shoot that individual message. Say, hey man, we saw you Sunday, we saw you Wednesday, we saw you Thursday, we saw you at the outreach event Saturday. We saw you, man. We're so proud to have you on the team and what you're doing, and we just want to celebrate you. Celebration is huge. Why? Because whatever we celebrate gets repeated. And so many times people do ministry and they never feel like anybody sees them. And so we want to celebrate them. It helps build the culture of your team. It helps build that healthy environment. So let's move on to number 3. It's been a long time, but celebration is huge. So celebrate your people. Number 3 is ministry, what I would call ministry updates, ministry information. This is a time that you could cast vision to your team. If you guys have an event that you want to do, you're casting vision before them. Man, this is what could be. This is how we could reach this school. This family has a need. We could do this. And when you're casting vision, you're just casting big picture. But let your team kind of fill the gaps. Let them fill the space. Let them have ownership of the vision that the Lord's given you. That's also a time of your staff, and you could talk just if anything's happening new at the church, just a ministry update type deal. But that is where I would just plug that vision, cast that vision, cast that vision. Number 4, planning. Say it with me, planning. A lot of times people feel like when you plan, man, they say, man, you're putting God in a box, you're doing this, you're doing that. That's not the case. In fact, we plan for God to move every single service, and we plan for that. But what I'm talking about planning is this. What do we need to know between now and Sunday? So what we do is we have our staff meetings on Monday. After Sunday, things are still fresh. If we need to tweak something, we can tweak, but we talk about what do we need to know between now and this coming Sunday. We've got 1 week, right? What can we fix? What can we do? What can we plan for? What's on the calendar? All these things. So we go 1 week, all right, and then we'll go 1 month. Within the next month, what do we need to be made aware of? The week, that's here, all right? It's on us. The month, we're talking about it in depth. But then we go 3 months out. What do we need to be thinking about down the road? So nothing catches us by surprise, but that is planning. That also is this, your calendar, making sure that events are on your calendar, that things are organized, just so you can continue to look at your calendar as a reference point there. So if you are not someone who has a calendar or lives by a calendar, I promise you, it is liberating. You think it would be putting you in a box, but no, it's liberating because you can pull those things up and see, okay, let's look back at decisions that we've already planned. So number 4 is planning. All right, number 5. Remember I told you we have meetings on Monday, so we can look back and say what didn't go well on Sunday. Well, that's problem solving. And so if there was an issue, how can we fix it? If I'm a kids director and I've got an issue in my department, that's not my issue alone. Listen, we're a team. We're in this thing together. So you've got a whole room of people who are gathered to help solve your issues, help bring solutions to your problems. So anything you may be going through, it might be a sound issue at the church. It may be a parking issue in the parking lot. It may be, man, we need more nursery workers. What can we do? So all these issues, we can take this moment and bring some solutions to the issues that are in front of us as a team. Because if one of us is not healthy, none of us are healthy. If one of us is struggling, we're all struggling. But if we're all heading in the same direction, hey, we're on the same team. So number 5 is problem solving. Number 6 is leadership development. And the reason I put it down is I used to come in my staff meetings and I say, all right, leadership time, let's go. And I saw that it wasn't good for my culture of my team because I was so informational and maybe systematic. I'm a little more systematic on some things. But I was like, let's get into some leadership. But I realized how important those celebrations were and are. So that's why we have leadership at, excuse me, we have leadership at number 6. So why is leadership important? Well, hopefully we just don't have team members. We have leaders. We're not teaching our teams and our staff, we're not teaching them to do tasks. We should be teaching them and training them to do it. Lead people who do tasks. Lead people who get things done. Lead a team. And so that's why it's important for us to do leadership principles with our staff and with our teams so they can know, listen, it's not necessarily your job to be in the trenches doing it, but it's your job to lead the people who are doing it. So a leadership principle, leadership development, take time to build them. I don't know if you guys have ever heard the study that that an individual can only have 40 healthy relationships. So as a pastor, I can only have 40 healthy relationships. But when I add a team member and I push down responsibilities, I lead them, I train them, I trust them, that's 40 more healthy relationships that can be established on our staff and in our team. So another reason that we develop leaders and not workers. Number 7, action items. When we leave the meeting, what are we doing with the information that we just talked about? Here's some steps that we can go through. Here are some decisions that were made. This is what we're going to do between now and then. So action items are what we're doing. It's not just what we're doing, it's who's responsible for them and when are they going to be done by. So it's what, who, and when. So we're going to give an event or a task, an assignment. We're going to give it a name and we're going to give it a date before we leave that room. And those will be our action items going forward. Who's going to do it? Who's going to oversee it? Who's going to lead it? All those things. All right. So number 7 is action items. If we have a meeting and there's no next steps from the meeting, we probably just got together and just talked and fellowshipped. If you've got time with your team, be very intentional with that time. Pour into them, develop them, lead them, because they're going to be pouring into and developing and leading the people in your church that are on their teams. Number 7, action items. And number 8, we'll close out the meeting. If you want to take time for relationships, do check-ins. How's the family? How's the kids? Hopefully that's happening through the week. One-on-ones that you can have with them, phone calls. But if you want to close out with a relationship thing, and of course we start with prayer and we end with prayer. So there's an 8-point right there, an 8-point outline of how to have an effective team meeting with your staff or just the folks who are doing ministry in your church. I hope this helps. If you're struggling developing a team, listen, we can help you with that. We can teach you how to recruit, develop, train, all these things. We can help you do that through HGM. And listen, we love you guys, and we're praying for you, praying for your churches, and praying for you guys to have beneficial and effective, productive team meetings with your staff. Hope you have a blessed day.